In this activity, you're going to be exploring bioluminescence and chemiluminescence. In the first activity, you'll be looking at the phenomenon of chemiluminescence, which is light produced by chemical reactions. Because we are going to be doing chemical reactions, you want to make sure that you wear gloves while you're doing the entire part of this activity. You're going to fill one tube with 25 milliliters of plain old water from the faucet. So you can look on the side here to make sure that you go up to 25, and you're going to label this A. Then what you want to do is you want to add the sodium hydroxide into this tube. Shake it up really good to mix it. Make sure that everything is dissolved. Once it's dissolved, we're going to add the luminol, which is the powder that is in this little packet. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your transfer pipette. The way that these transfer pipettes work is that you want to squeeze the bulb first, then go into your solution and unsqueeze to draw up the liquid. Then you can squeeze it and dispense it. So we're going to put a little bit of this liquid into this baggie. So we're going to open the bag first. It may take, you might need another set of hands to do this. Once you've got the bag open, you want to take a little bit of your solution A and put it into the bag. And then you want to try to get as much of the powder off of the side using the pipette by just squeezing up and down and getting it all off the sides. You're also dissolving it at the same time. You get as much of it off. Okay, and then you can take this and add it to your solution A. Your solution should be a little bit yellowish. We're going to cap this and then give it a good shake to mix it. So that's our solution A. Next, we're going to take another tube. We're going to fill it with 10 milliliters of water this time and label this B. We're going to take our bleach this time, and we're going to add a couple of drops of bleach to our solution B. So about 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cap it, screw it on tight, give it a good shake. Next, what you want to do is you're going to drip a little bit of solution A into the solution B, and you're going to see that when you do that, the color, you're going to see light being produced. So you don't want to use up all of the solution A because you're going to need it for the next activity. So next what you're going to do is you're going to take a little bit of solution A, drip it into solution B. You're going to want the lights to be really dark in order to see this, but so that way you guys can still see the video. It's not too dark in here. I'm going to take a little bit of solution A and drip it into solution B, and you should start to see some light. Okay. Save your pipette for the next activity. In this next part, you're going to demonstrate how forensic scientists can detect blood using this luminol reaction that you've just looked at. For that, we're going to use this synthetic blood. So don't worry, it's not real blood, it's just dyes and some iron in it. This luminol reaction can occur if you have iron, and since blood has iron, this is how we can use to detect the presence of blood. So you want to take your cotton swab and your synthetic blood and draw a picture on the piece of paper. You want to make sure that the picture is pretty well saturated, so you might need to go over it 5 or 6 times to get it to look pretty dark. You're then going to want this to completely dry. It might take about 20 minutes. So one thing you could do is start this activity before you start the first part and then come back to it. Once you've got your picture dry, you want to take your solution A and fill another tube with 10 milliliters of water for your solution C. For this one, we're going to add 4 drops of hydrogen peroxide. Cap it and shake it up as you did for the other one. Now for this one, we're going to make a solution. We're going to pour solution A into solution C, but we're going to pour an equal volume. So there's about 10 milliliters in here, so we're going to pour 10 milliliters into this tube. And you'll notice that right now there is no light because there's no iron in it. We're going to shake this up to mix it, and then you're going to pour it into the little mini spray bottle that we gave you. Now here comes the fun part. You want to take your picture, turn off the lights, and start spraying at it. And you can start to see it glow in the dark. In this next part, you're going to be playing with these fireflies. So these are fireflies from the Sea of Japan, and they are bioluminescent, which means that they do a chemical reaction in their bodies that produces light. So you're going to want to put a little bit of the fireflies into a microtube, just about that much. And then what you want to do is add just a little bit of water, so a couple of drops, maybe 3 or 4. 1, 2, okay, maybe about 2 drops. Okay, then what you want to do is you want to turn off the light while you're doing this, but take your pipette, don't press down on the bulb, and then crush them just a little bit. So if you're doing in the dark, you're going to see some light appear. I'm in the light right now, so you can't see it, but I can see just a little bit appearing. For this next part, this time you're going to demonstrate what happens when you heat and activate the protein enzymes that create the bioluminescence. So you're going to take your fireflies again, and you're going to add a little bit of water again. But this time, you're not going to crush it right away. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to have a cup of water that you've boiled in the microwave. So usually if you set it for about 90 seconds on high, it should be boiling. And in your kit, there's this little foam styrofoam holder. You want to just put your tube into that holder, and then this will allow the tube to float in the water. So put it in there, and that should let it float for about 2 minutes, which this one is not. Once you've put the water in there, you want to put it into the styrofoam tube holder that you've got. So just put it in there, set it in the water, and it should float for about 2 minutes. And this will be enough to heat and activate the enzyme. Make sure that you have your other tube of the fireflies that you used in the first part. What you may want to do, because they get a little bit because they were dry to begin with, now they've got a little bit of water in them. You might want to tap down your tube a little bit just so you can get everything down to the bottom. Once this has been in the boiling water for 2 minutes, be very careful, take it out and take it out of the tube holder. Now you can crush it and you'll see that there is no bioluminescence. So if I crush this, there shouldn't be any bioluminescence, which is a little bit hard to see because I'm in the light, but when you turn off the lights, you shouldn't see anything. So even though there's no bioluminescence because we heat and activate the enzyme, the chemical that is used to make the light reaction is still there. All we need to do is add some enzyme that has not been heat and activated. So wait a couple of minutes for this to cool down completely. It shouldn't take very long, just a minute or two. Once it's cooled down, take some of your enzyme from the first part of this that you crushed them before you boiled it and add it to your tube, and you'll see that the bioluminescence reappears.